Have you ever felt like time suddenly stopped around you? Have you ever wondered if something as simple as a clock could actually be more than just a tool for telling time? I thought I was living an ordinary life until I bought an old clock from a small shop. It seemed like a simple, traditional clock, nothing out of the ordinary. But little did I know it would lead me to one of the greatest mysteries of my life. One night, while I was staring at the clock on the wall, something strange happened. It suddenly stopped working. Completely. I didn't hear the usual ticking sound. Just an eerie silence. At first, I thought it was just a malfunction, but I was wrong. What happened next was beyond explanation. The room around me began to freeze in time. No sound, no movement. Everything had stopped, as if time itself had come to a halt. Yet, I was still there. I could move, breathe, but I felt like I was somewhere else, in a different world. I stepped out into the street, but everything was different. People were frozen in place, even the air seemed still. The whole world was frozen, and I was the only one who could move. I continued walking. What was happening to me? Was I dreaming? But why? Was it real or not real? I couldn't tell. I wandered around the town, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. As if in a movie, I looked up at the sky, but the clock had stopped. What did this mean? What was happening to me? Why was I the only one who could move? I needed answers. So, I started searching for them. I went through books, the internet, researched, but nothing seemed to explain what was happening. The clock was the answer, but it was more than just a clock. It was a portal, a device capable of controlling time itself. But how? How could a clock do that? Who made it? Why? These questions kept pounding in my head. I looked at the clock again. Its hands were still frozen at that exact moment. I touched it, hoping to feel something, anything, but it was cold, emotionless. Was it a coincidence? Or had the clock opened a door to somewhere else, a place where time was lost? Days turned into weeks. The town remained frozen, and I continued my search for answers. The clock became my obsession. I wanted to understand it, to know its secrets. Then one day, while researching old artifacts, I came across a symbol that looked familiar. It was the same symbol engraved on the back of the clock. This discovery led me to an ancient legend about a civilization that had the power to control time. They were said to have created devices like the clock to manipulate time, but what happened to them? Where did they go? Did they disappear intentionally to avoid misuse of their powers, or were they lost somewhere in the frozen time? As I continued my investigation, I found more evidence of this hidden civilization, their ruins, their artifacts, their history. Slowly, I began to understand the true potential of the clock and my connection to it. The more I learned, the more I realized that time was not what we perceived it to be. It was something much more complex, something that could be manipulated, something that could be controlled. One day, I decided to return to the town square and observe the frozen people. I sat on a nearby bench, lost in thought. That's when I heard a sound. It was the clock. It had started ticking again. As its hands moved, the frozen world began to stir. The people blinked, confused. The birds flew away. The wind rustled through the leaves. Time had started moving again. I felt the familiar sensation of time passing, the sun setting, the moon rising. It was as if the world was waking up from a deep sleep. When I restarted the clock, I felt something strange. It was as if I had returned to the beginning, to the moment when everything changed. My adventure had come full circle. Now, I can't say that I understand it all. All I know is that the moment the clock was silent was the moment my life stopped. The moment the clock started ticking again was the moment life returned to the world. But what does it all mean? Is time just an illusion we live in unknowingly? Can a clock really control it? Am I really somewhere else right now? If you want to know more, ask yourself, are you ready to find out the truth? Because once you do, you may never be the same again. Time is not what we think it is. There are things in this world that are beyond our understanding. What seems to be a simple clock may be much more than that. It may hold the secrets of the universe, the power to control time itself. Who knows? But one thing is certain, the clock didn't stop. Time did. If you enjoyed this story and want to experience more thrilling adventures and mysteries, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Your support means everything to us. Thank you for watching. See you soon.